No echo.
Did you talk in the middle? I don't think so. I'll wait here just in case.
Okay. Would everyone please stand for a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Becky made a motion to approve. Ethan seconded. All in favor, all opposed, unanimous. Okay, the approval of claims payable.
I did print out the claims for you this evening. Since it's the last minute of the year, I wanted to make sure I got everything that I needed to. The few different things that are not normal. I did have some lifeguard training reimbursement fees to 3 of the guards. So those are included in this. There was a shop with a cop. That was a total of 20,000 that I had to purchase one more gift cards and then checks for the police department for their program. And then the bond payment and interest, that's 66,000. So that's included on this claims charge as well. And then the water study for the water rate study was $12,500. So those are all mainly the unusual charges that you saw on this. I think that's it.
The claims are $281,820.75. And the payroll is $50,716.
It's also what allows us to control the dimming. When we started this process back in early 2024, the total cost for the sign replacement was $70,000. Now, with this 2-year delay and with some of the legal expenses we've had to put into this, it is significantly greater than that because of material and labor increases and the legal bills we've already put into it. So when we petitioned the historic provided a legal and binding legal agreement that outside legal counsel for the bank in Indianapolis prepared that offered collaboration, or in essence, a partnership we would enter with the commission that would require their consent for such things as the final design approval, including side materials and final placement, illumination levels, font color palette, fonts, and graphics and content. We were willing to partner with that commission so they could advance the objectives of their commission, but we could also preserve our sign for Main Street. We chose to go that legal agreement route because at that time it offered all parties the least confrontational and certainly the least costly, at least for the commission, avenue to move forward. At that November 18th meeting, the commission turned the request down again. There's a gentleman on the commission, Mr. Kaniga. I don't think he is appointed, but I think he is a consultant to the commission with Indiana Landmarks. Kept on quoting that it is not regulation, it is not in the recommended guidelines, and that's the term he used. Okay. The application submitted along with the request for approval on November 18th, were denied by the commission on the grounds that backlit and LED signs were deemed inconsistent with adopted guidelines. However, guidelines are exactly that. They're intended as flexible recommendations, not binding regulations subject to enforcement or penalties. However, guidelines are intended despite this distinction, Mr. Kaniga of Indiana Landmarks and other commission members insisted on applying the state's boilerplate guidelines without modification for Brookville's unique community circumstances. Mr. Kaniga further acknowledged that at no time did the commission consider any Brookville-specific adjustments. Our sign vendor, Green Sign out of Greensburg, works with numerous Indiana communities, and they have worked collaboratively with businesses to address signage concerns. In contrast, the Brookville Commission has treated its adopted boilerplate guidelines as rigid regulations and has not shown a willingness to engage with the local business in pursuit of reasonable compromise. Other pertinent facts, that sign has been scrolling along Main Street for 43 years. It has served as a vital community resource prompting local events, organizations, fundraisers, and other community news. Matter of fact, the content on that sign is more weighted to community news than it is to bank product promotion and image advertising for the bank. We continue to receive numerous requests from the community members to use this sign for their public announcements. And I believe removing the service would deprive the town of a valued and well-established means of communication. The other thing is the drive-through location itself was never considered in the application for the historical Main Street designation because it wasn't 50 years old. Yet, apparently they still have full control over what happens on our property by denying the sign 3 times. On January 1st, the bank's going to celebrate its 125th anniversary. We have lived our mission of building a stronger community in Brookville, investing hundreds of millions of dollars to strengthen Franklin County. Today, our commitment includes more than $200 million invested in the town of Brookville alone, between loans, investments, charitable contributions over the last 25 years. We continue to support churches, charities, youth sports, and organizations that enrich the lives of Brookville residents. You can see our work with the support of the pool, the 4-H barn, the courthouse gazebo, the library, and countless other local projects. We pledged our support to the commission by ensuring that any new sign reflects both the commission's mission and ours. We proposed a flexible legal agreement to accommodate requests that positively contribute to Brookville. The proposal was rejected, which in our opinion demonstrates the commission's unwillingness to partner with Main Street businesses, many of which have supported Main Street long before the formation of the commission itself. The board and management of SCN remain committed to sharing community news while respecting the historical character of Main Street. We respectfully petition the town council to approve the replacement of the bank sign at 400 Main Street so we can continue our tradition of service and support to the town. Be happy to answer any questions.
Andy, what's our role in it?
So what they had applied to the HPC for was a certificate of appropriateness. Initially, I think the application was in November of 2023, and that was denied in November of 2024. According to the HPC guidelines, they're in a party aggrieved, I think is the word it used, by a decision of the APC is subject to judicial review. I don't believe judicial review was sought in this scenario, but I don't see anything. The approval of or denial of certificate of appropriateness is by statute, lies with the commission and by their procedures. Also, I don't see anything in the HPC rules of procedure that gives town council any oversight or veto authority really over an HPC decision. Now, I haven't found our formal ordinance from when this was initially set up. I don't know where that might be, but I know that's
on the website.
I know that's one of the things we're working on with American Legal Publishing, but nothing I've seen in the statutes and their rules of procedure or anywhere else, or nothing's been presented to me that shows that town council has any type of, like I said, veto over an HPC decision. They really act fairly independently. I mean, you appoint the board, but their decisions are their decisions.
I did ask the commission very specifically in that meeting what the appeal process was, and they said the buck stops here. That was their answer to me.
Oh, they didn't give you any appeals process.
I said, where do I go from here? We strongly disagree with this decision. And I said, who has the ultimate authority on granting? And they basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, you may want to double check with them, but their response was, you have the ability to override.
Oh, the council, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Is that what was said? That's what was said.
I mean, you're using the same pedestal that's already been there for 40
Correct.
plus years.
Yeah.
So you're just
You guys
changing.
want to see a picture of what the sign would look like?
Look in your thing, you could see a picture of the new sign.
We have already been working on the content, what it would look like, the color palette. One of the coolest things we can do, because it is LED technology, is we've taken all of our old historic Main Street pictures. We can project those pictures onto that screen. And so we are also planning on using the same kind of marquee presentation for our messaging that has been on that sign for 43 years. We're not trying to create some crazy illuminated, bright advertising. We respect the downtown area and what the commission's trying to do. It's just to go back to an analog sign, which is very expensive because that's not where the industry is right now, as well as the cost to maintain an analog sign is a little excessive.
Well, Andy, if we would override this tonight,
I don't see from where I'm sitting, as what I'm advising you is I have not found anything that would give you the ability to override the HPC decision. I've been looking for it. I know somebody, Gene, I remember somebody at one point said, I think they were told at the meeting that they could go to town council, but then they did follow up with them. I know Stevie Meyer sent an email to a Beth Seibert, Siebert, apologies.
No
Siebert, back in November of 24, which did outline, included the language that any person or party aggrieved by decision of the commission shall be entitled to judicial review.
Rick's on the board. What do you think, Rick? How do you feel?
Oh, I wouldn't lose no sleep if they put a new sign up. I
That's the way
mean,
I feel.
I'm not taking any position on the sign. I'm
but-
just telling you what.
See, if we would override it and we don't have the ability to override it, I think it's moot. Maybe we could table this until Andy has more time.
I would like to table it because maybe we can work something out with the HPCs, figure out something that works for everybody without making new rules if we have the ability to do it.
I understand the
The
commission's
sign
concern.
you have now, I'm assuming when it was put up was equivalent to an LED.
It was the best at the time.
It was the top of the
Yeah.
line,
Yeah.
40 plus, yes.
Truly, it should be grandfathered in because of that right there. In my opinion, and I'm just one person. You did say in that meeting that if we would like, you have one in Batesville that we can look at.
Yeah, I would ask you to allow us to amend the programming to what we would run here in Brookville. I'll tell you, Batesville, it's on 229 as you come into town. We're competing against two other bright illuminated signs, and I'll tell you what, we light it up. But that's not our plan here. We're gonna be respectful of Main Street.
Can they adjust the lighting and stuff for someone to see if we set
Yeah,
up?
the
a time
beauty
to
of it
do
is, this is the only sign we can't adjust from Beth Siebert, our marketing director's desk here in Brookville. So she can actually put whatever content we want on the Brookville sign, but project it up on the Batesville sign. So you can see what we're talking about.
See exactly what it'll. I remember when the whole historical stuff, was going on. I wasn't on the board, but a majority of the town was against it from the start. And I can't believe that when it was created anyway, there was no form of appeals process put into that.
It's judicial review. So there's no appeal process to the town council. So again, going back to that email that Stevie sent, that's where that acknowledgement was. So again, Stevie had included the information about being entitled to judicial review under Indiana Code 36-7-4 as if it were a final decision of a board of zoning appeals. It's another judicial review process. Please contact an attorney for any further guidance in that process. And the email closes with, I want to acknowledge the incorrect information provided at Tuesday's meeting regarding the appeal process. Given that Brookville's HPC has never before encountered such a scenario, we were not fully informed on the specifics of how the aggrieved parties move forward with the appeal. And for that, we deeply apologize. But that was so November 22nd, 2024 is when the email was sent outlining the judicial review process.
See, our legal counsel has advised us to go ahead and just put it up anyway, because what they can do is levy fines, and supposedly they can hold up any subsequent building permits we would want to do for anything along Main Street. And they said, sue them then at that point in time. A matter of fact, our legal counsel is even questioning the statute and whether they have the right to assess the fines and collect the fines. I mean, we're using Edmondson out of Indianapolis.
Is the LED, is that what's really holding everything
Yep.
back?
The guidelines, and that's what they go back to, say no backlit or LED signs on Main Street at all. Yet I got a competitor down that's out of the Main Street down at the end in the banking industry with one of the brightest LED signs you can buy. And I don't fault Farmers Mutual for their new LED sign down in the valley. But now we have a sign that the community's relied on for 43 years that when it's done, it's done.
Would you be okay with us, as Rick said, trying to put up a meeting with all parties and trying to work out a compromise?
Our preference would be to work out something that's acceptable to all parties rather than cramming it down somebody's throat. So yes,
Let's table this tonight and setting up a meeting and going about this.
yeah, I'll run interference with my board.
Well, I don't have a suit, so I wouldn't be able to. Is anybody, how do you guys feel about this?
I feel we should table it. I mean, I don't think it's the right decision. And the sign's been there since I was a kid, and, you know, back in the '80s, that's how you found out if they were St. Peter's was having a dinner, or St. Mike, you know, that's where all your community information came from. And you can't go to Walmart and buy incandescent light bulbs anymore because they've switched everything to LEDs. So it's not so much a matter of getting, wanting that, as I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. Because you can't go to Walmart and buy an old school incandescent light bulb. Everything is going to LEDs.
John, I would ask one question. If all the parties got together, in addition to get an answer to the question, does the council have veto power here? If they do not, I'd like to know what the next step is. Is there an appeal process, and where do we go?
Andy?
Other than lawyering up, which we don't want to do.
I don't know. I haven't had any dealings with them before this, and I don't think it.
They don't hire separate counsel. We rely on Indiana Landmarks as a consultant. We contract with them.
Well, I know
So
where
I don't
Mr.
know.
Kaniga stands on this.
Well, let's just not worry about all that right now. Let's set up a meeting and get everybody together and talk about this.
Glad to do it.
And see what can be done, if anything, and at least make it.
Now you're still willing to go with the HPC as far as what you put on the sign? Wasn't that one of the?
Let's see how this meeting goes. Right now, my confidence and faith and bringing them on board as a true legal partner is a little shaken right now. But if we can work together and come to an agreement that's good for both the town and for the bank, yeah, we'll entertain.
I mean, that
We're willing to
was
do it.
what was brought up at the HPC, correct?
Correct. They had drafted the entire agreement.
Right.
Yep.
Do I have a motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table it until
I'll second.
Brad made a motion to table, Rick seconded, all in favor, all opposed.
All right.
Dave.
Probably not the end of it.
Thanks.
We
Ready to
try.
try.
We will
Thank you.
try.
So let's go to the variance application approval for shipping containers. And do you all want to say anything?
They just get the old ladies back in their classes.
I think there's a more politically correct
The elderly
term
ladies.
that's. As I represent that generation.
Senior citizens.
Do we have that for us, what the application?
Yeah, it would be the same as last time we were here. I didn't hear anybody, hear from anyone in between, last meeting and tonight. So what was presented, or the proposed application that was presented to you last week is.
No, this is not about the ordinance.
Find it.
We've already passed that. This is
Right.
about the application for people that, not residential, but people in other zoning areas can apply to get a shipping container. And it doesn't have to be approved once they apply for it. We have the ability to say yes or no.
that was my question at the last meeting, was like, for the applications, there's no real criteria other than everything in here is like the approval, not interested in public health, reasonable restrictions. How do we come up with the criteria? Do we do that as a board? I mean, because it's in the application itself, there's not really any criteria. And what's going to be, if we deny it, then we don't have any criteria for a basis for the denial.
Well, I think those 3A and 3B I borrowed from the zoning statutes. Those are the things that you would look for when you're looking at a variance in a zoning statute, in the zoning statute. So this isn't being done through zoning, it's being done through the property maintenance code. But just given my experience working in planning and zoning, I knew that that statute existed and it would give me some language that I would look for. I think the idea is that the criteria be open-ended because someone that wants to put a shipping container, say it's zone general business, but it's surrounded by residential, is a different scenario than if Owens Corning wants to put a shipping container in. And so I think the way it's written allows you to look at each one on a case-by-case basis. That was my idea or my intent with coming up with this, but by no means am I married to any of it or think it's perfect. I've never done this before, this type of thing before. So I was kind of trying to come up with something that may,
Cause
I wanted council to have the ability to say yes or no.
right, my thing, I mean, a lot of the town is owned business, general business. You know, I mean, where my house is, it's general business. Yours probably is as well.
I think right across.
Right across the street. I mean, that, it still encumbers a lot of residential areas. I just,
Well, as Andy said on this, like where they're talking about, they've got the mill, they've got what used to be Billy Bob's, whatever it is now, down the street. They've got different that type of businesses around there. Where you and I live, you know, it's a funeral home. It's the Butts business over there. It's not that same type. We don't have a mill there, you know. So and then I think that plays out in different parts around town. There are some places where it just wouldn't work, like our neighborhoods. But I think in the neighborhood that they're talking about, no one's Corning and everything, I think it would work. And if we don't have this, then we don't have the ability to allow that to happen.
well, and that was my concern was as far as coming up with the criteria. I mean, there's, I don't, whether it gets approved or not, like you said, that's a lot different than being in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
But what happens next week if somebody that does butt up against a neighborhood and wants it, there's nothing really in there for us to deny it. And that's what I wanted to make sure that we have that option without somebody coming back and saying, well, it wasn't on the application and it says clearly that this is what the town board will consider the following factors and.
Well, that B, and I found covered the Board of Zoning Appeals for most of my life, that the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in substantially adverse manner. Now, that's a big one, because like if it is a residential area, they can come in and say, hey, it's gonna drop my property values, and they've got a good argument. But if you've already got a bill down there beside you, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Or if you got Owens Corning, you know.
I'm just, like I said, from being on the police department for 25 years, I know how hard the town fought to get that stuff out of town. And it just scared Tim and previous boards and everybody that's put all that work into doing that. I just want to make sure that we're not opening it back up. So 5 years down the road, it's not like it was 10, 15 years ago and we're going through it all over again. That's my main
Well,
worry.
I feel that the way that this is written, and I always thought that Andy did perfect work for us.
Appreciate that.
The way this is written is if a county or a town council comes along that's totally different viewpoints, they will be able to, and viewpoints of the towns change, they will be able to do what they want to do at that time. We can do what we want to do at this time. You know, the mores of the community, the mores of the council members, they change with time. I think this is open-ended enough that this.
It'll allow for that.
Yeah, could work here and now and in the future.
Go ahead.
No, we're not done talking. Go ahead, talk.
I was gonna say, can we just table this and go over a little? I know, but there's just, I'm concerned not so much of them being in the neighborhoods, but up and down Main Street, there's nothing but gravel parking lots behind the businesses. Plus, blacktop, whatever, and you're gonna give somebody a permit to do that, then you're gonna be in a problem with the HPC because they're not gonna let that happen.
Well, this is
I mean,
Main
it's-
Street.
Huh?
This isn't Main Street. And again,
Yeah, but
if
if someone
somebody
on-
on Main Street wanted to
that-
do it, they'd have to come to us.
I know, but we couldn't do it because the HPC is not gonna let it.
Well, again,
That's my concern.
that, I don't think that should fall into this. This is just the application. It's not telling, say, if we approve the application, we're approving every shipping container that comes up before us. It's not saying that at all. It's just saying that this is what the application that we want. And if it will fit the bill. Now, if you want it table, but you'd have to tell Andy what you want changed on it. Because it'll be the same one that comes up to us the next time.
Yeah, I think the HPC is a separate thing. I mean, if somebody on Main Street wanted a shipping container, I assume they'd have to go through the same process our gentleman that was just here to go through, which is apply for a certificate of appropriateness first. Get them to sign off on that, and then they would still have to go through the town's application process to get the variance. So actually, the people on Main Street would be, I would assume, would have more oversight even than somebody that's not in the historical district.
So like this application, I like when it says list of adjoining property owners, who's gonna be responsible? Like after, say they submit their application, is it gonna be the board's job? Is it Tim or whoever takes, whose responsibility is it to go through the application and contact those people and do all that and then bring a recommendation back to the board?
So Gina and I talked that what would happen. So I'll start with the applicant is responsible for paying the application fee as well as the costs associated with certified mail. So the adjoiners would be served by certified mail. And Gina and I talked that they would be sent a boilerplate letter and a copy of the application, You're hereby notified that your neighbor has applied for a shipping container, attaches their ordinance or their application, and probably, the date that it would be heard, the application would be heard. But that's something Gina and I would work on. But as far as the costs associated with mail, certified mail is kind of outrageous anymore, but that would be on the applicant.
I don't agree with allow them in town, period. So whether this is approved or not, I think, my personal opinion, I think we ought to think about amending the variance that was passed a couple meetings ago. So that we could just wipe it all out and not allow it, period. That's the way it was
You
before.
don't wanna have any ability to, like if Owens Corning comes for us or.
They're not, we've never allowed them before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys straight told me the last meeting that I was in the right to have them. That I, quote, worked too fast, the issue. And I removed them that same day I had them delivered, so. No offense, you did allow them in the past.
And we
I
have.
was right to do it. You guys all told me I was
We
right to do
didn't
it.
allow them in the past. No, nobody read our ordinance till you did. And nobody knew that they could go onto a gravel parking lot. It's, if
Tim, would you like to say something?
We never did allow them in the past, and I have some concerns about the variance application because we don't have any criteria set down to base what we're allowing. I mean, what if, and I don't know yous, and I'm not against you, but I am against shipping containers, but if we allow one shipping container. Every other application will be judged upon that first application. And I've seen it before. Well, you let them do it. Why aren't you letting me do it? And we don't have any criteria as far as, are we saying how many? What if they start stacking them? And you can't hide them behind a fence because our fence, you're only allowed a certain height of a fence, so it's going to be sticking up. There's so many variables here that are not answered. And I don't know where you go to answer these. I don't know if it's a zoning issue. I don't know if it's an ordinance issue. On how many.
There are so many variables, and that's why the way I drafted the application left it broad, because there are so many. I mean, you can never address every variable.
I understand.
And I'll say
yes.
too, courts set precedent, town councils don't set precedent. Somebody might come in and say, well, you let John Doe do this and you have to let me. That's not, everything's dealt with on a case by case basis. But that's the way, like I said, we can get more detailed about criteria if that's the way we want to go. I didn't hear from anybody in between last meeting and tonight. So if that's the route we want to go, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, you're never going to be able to address every variable. I mean, you certainly can say they're not allowed to be stacked. I mean, that's easy to say, but yeah, and we can go that route if that's the way you guys want to go.
Can I ask you, why didn't you guys go with storage buildings? Because those are permitted. Go ahead.
A storage building is, it can be a portable building of basically any size.
Metal building. Like a shipping container. My reasoning is it costs 3 to 4 times more and you get half the size. A shipping container I can move around. I can hide it behind that fence because they're only 8 foot tall. I believe that's what your variance is, 8 foot. I could
The shipping
do things to hide it, dress it up. I bought brand new one-time use shipping containers. Like I said last time, they weren't dinged up, they weren't rusty. I can go buy a tractor trailer because it has wheels on it and parts get back there. That looks 100 times worse than a shipping container. I did the very best I could do with what I got to work with and the money. I could go buy a little shed that's 8 by 8 that costs about $5,000 from Home Depot. I can buy a 40 or a 20 by 8 foot shipping container for $2,000. I get 3 times the square footage. It's waterproof. It's not going to rot because it's old. It's wood and lumber. I'm going to have to rebuild it multiple times. I've got many reasons why a shipping container is better for storage for a business. I can lock it up. It's more secure.
I placed 2 storage buildings on my property, not storage containers, but buildings. It's been bought years ago. I don't really know. I know they were built by the Amish, so they were costly.
I guess another one of the things that I'm concerned about is that the people that we forced to move these things out, they were in the same business district. And one of them, you can go there right now and they have a storage building or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if we'll get any backlash from that.
I don't see how they could do backlash from that. And if they want a storage container, they could come in and apply for it and we could say yes or no. I don't think this has any bearing on what's been done past, coming back to Hans.
I think my problem is that if we begin, where's it gonna go?
We have the ability to put limits on.
But it's like, are we gonna give it to them for who they are or for what they're doing with it? I just think we're opening up a can of worms.
It's more location. Like most things are in zoning, it's location.
We've never allowed them in town, and that's where I stand. I just don't think that we ought to open up that can of worms, John.
What's the board going to do?
I motion that we amend the ordinance. or the variance, whatever it is, the ordinance.
So ordinances can only be modified by a subsequent ordinance, so we don't have that in front of us. Or I don't have one prepared.
Since the last time I was here, you guys changed the ordinance, I guess, I don't know if that went into effect. Or if the one that was amended before that is in effect. So which one actually stands right now? So
Andy,
So the one that was adopted, modified that say the shipping containers are permitted only by a variance that has been approved by the town council. So that's where things stand right now.
and that's what we're trying to prove tonight is the variance application.
The application so that that variance process can be initiated.
Motion that we table the application.
Becky's made a motion to table the application.
I'll second it.
Fred seconded, all in favor? All opposed? 4-1 passes.
And as far as criteria, if there is any criteria, and we got a little break here before our next meeting, but by all means, if you think of anything, reach out to me and I'll throw it together and make sure everybody sees it. We'll go from there.
I always feel that the less criteria you have, the better. As Andy explained earlier, I think you limit it too much if you put too much criteria in. This way allows whoever's on council at any time to be able to use them.
Where exactly was it contains that down there? What part of that building?
yes, they were on the back sides.
I know, but where at, you got like an offset where there's a small building.
I don't.
That's not your part there? Okay,
It was on that gravel parking lot
right.
towards the street,
You know, their backs
So
of
that building sort of comes across and got a little like that. I didn't know if they were sitting, gonna go back there or.
I mean, I could put them up against the building, that helps. I had another drawing with them. When you come down between the building where that place that sells the food and my building and then the SPCA cat place there, I can put them right back behind there, up back over there. I got a 4 foot back.
But that other section is not your building?
Little drive behind it's not. If it was, I
Is-
would need the shipping.
Okay.
well, I'm sorry.
It's like a done or does it?
The application was tabled. So still working at right now, working on the application for the variance process.
And Becky wants him to work on another ordinance. And that may be before us the next time. Well, yeah. Tell me. Is there anything else you want to say?
Kind of at a loss right now. I mean, I'm trying to open some businesses in town. And I just got a shipping container load of stuff. And I put it in that garage and moved the class out. I let them use the front store space of my building, which is probably a liability on my end. Because I had insurance on the gym and I got different insurance for the storefront, but I let them use that class or that space for their class. It's, you know. It's disappointing. I'm trying to work here and where am I gonna moving forward? Put inventory for store. I really don't wanna tractor trailer back there. They're god awful, but I think personally. and I can't afford to build a building. And a shed ain't gonna do, so shipping containers were the best. You know, maybe down the road, I could afford to get them replaced, but right now, I need somewhere, I would like to open the store by spring. And now all that is gonna have to go somewhere else, I mean, what do? I don't know what to do.
This is just me, I feel that we as council should be supportive of businesses in town, not throwing up roadblocks, but that's just me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Kevin?
Should have all received, or, but nobody received the email, right, John?
I printed
Yes,
it out for him. You got
Or-
more? Oh,
You don't want to be inundated with information, so there's a few more pages in here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So you can still hear me, but I'm gonna move that out of my face. First off, thank you for moving this up. We can go home and figure out what we're doing with kids tomorrow. Let's go through this briefly before we get to the documents that I handed out. Thank you for having me tonight. For those that don't know, my name is Kevin Kaiser with Anchor Financial Group. Anchor Financial Group is an independent insurance benefits advisory firm and the largest better-known insurance and financial firm in the United States. We are not tied to any carrier, and our role is to act as an advocate for our clients by reviewing the market annually and making recommendations based on plan designs, employee impact, carrier reputation, and financial strength, not just price. My role is to present the results to the town's annual benefits renewal review, explain the options available for January 1, and answer any questions you may have so the board can decide how it wants to proceed. This is part of the normal annual process. Every year we shop the plan, review alternatives, and bring back what we believe is in the town's best interest, financially, operationally, and for employees. Just to address the timing briefly, renewal discussions typically begin in early November. That's when carriers release the renewal rates about 60 days in advance. Administratively, my point of contact is the town clerk, who serves as the plan's, I'll say, quote unquote, HR administrator. At that time, we were asked to review additional HSA options, which we did as part of the market review. Once all final quotes were received, we worked with the town's meeting schedule to bring everything to the board in a public meeting, as you are required to do, we all know. For this renewal, we reviewed options from Allstate, Trustmark, United Healthcare, and Anthem. We also looked at ancillary alternatives where appropriate. We did explore additional options beyond those carriers. However, many carriers declined to quote the comparable plan or pricing. The market for municipalities has changed significantly in recent years. Because municipalities are ERISA exempt, meaning they are not required to file a Form 5500 like private employers, many carriers are no longer willing to offer level funded or reference-based pricing plans to municipalities. We experienced this firsthand last year when a carrier quoted by another broker later withdrew once municipal status was confirmed. What does ERISA exempt mean? Simple terms, it affects how plans are regulated and reported. Some carriers are no longer comfortable offering certain plan structures to public entities such as yourself. That's where that comes from. United Healthcare did provide quotes. I'm sorry, they did provide quotes. I put the one page with the least amount. I didn't figure you wanted to see all 39 options from United Healthcare. They just got more expensive. So, but nothing under approximately $34,000 per month. And they declined to offer anything comparable to the town's current plan structure. That decision was driven largely by municipal eligibility constraints, not by the town's claims experience, which we will touch on. Trustmark was the town's prior carrier before switching to Allstate. We did re-engage Trustmark as part of this review. There's one of their sheets that, again, just don't want to inundate you with the abundance of plans that are out there, because when certain carriers, you just put information in, they spit out everything that they can possibly do under the sun. But even today, the town's premiums remain well below what was being paid 5 years ago, which was the original reason for the move to Allstate. In addition, Trustmark does not offer the same level of balanced billing protection that Allstate provides. Very few carriers come close in that area. One important point of context from last year, the town was initially looking at a 0% renewal with a $3,500 deductible last year, going into 2025. At that time, discretionary rate relief was requested from Allstate by another broker to improve the optics of alternative options. That request occurred without my knowledge. Once that relief was applied, the town elected to move to a $3,000 deductible instead of the $3,500, resulting in a net flat renewal. Short version, got a better plan structure, no premium increase. That worked in the short term. However, discretionary relief is not unlimited. In my experience, carriers, you get one favor is what it amounts to. As a result, that same $3,500 deductible option you had prior to this year now reflects a 5.39% increase. Had that relief not been used last year, it's very possible the town could have maintained 2 consecutive flat renewals. If the board chooses to table this tonight, I completely understand wanting time to digest the information. My only concern is timing. We are now mid-December and carriers require finalized elections to ensure there is no lapse in coverage. ID cards are issued, claim systems are set correctly for January 1. Last year, this decision extended very late into December due to assumptions about other options that ultimately were not available. I want to avoid a repeat of that situation. If the item is tabled, it would be extremely helpful to understand what specific questions or concerns the board would like addressed so we can return with everything needed to finalize a decision efficiently. Again, we are not tied to any one carrier. Our role is to serve the town as our client and advise based on all available information, not just price alone. We look at plan design, employee impact, carrier reputation, financial strength, and long-term viability. So to summarize, we've completed the market review that you have in front of you. The Allstate options remain competitive and stable, and the town continues to benefit from a plan structure that is very advantageous, but increasingly unavailable to municipalities. You are grandfathered in. I'm happy to answer questions tonight, and if additional discussion is needed, my goal is simply to ensure the board has what it needs to make a timely and informed decision. And with that, we can jump straight to answers, or we can go through the packet that I just handed out, which again, some of it you received in an email, but I added in the other quotes for comparison.
Now, in the plan 1, plan 2, and plan 3 with Allstate,
Yes, sir.
is plan 1 our current?
Yes, correct. Plan 1 is what you currently have, the $3,000 deductible. Prior to this year, you had plan 2, the $3,500 deductible. That changed. That changed a couple years before that. You went from the $3,000 to $3,500 deductible, and you added an extra $500 to their FSA each year.
Right, and do we have a 70% co-insurance at the time on that when we had plan 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Gina, could you explain to everybody how we budget this?
Basically, I always try to look and see was it expended the prior year before and then add a percentage. I don't know. It's always based on claims, so I have no idea.
Some of it is general and then.
Oh, sure. Sorry. So a lot of times I will pay the premium invoices from the general fund, and then utility employees, their premiums come from water and sewer, and then I reimburse general.
And you and I talked a little bit about what we have budgeted right now for 2026. The current plan we can do, correct?
Correct, but I think plan 2 sounds better.
Okay, I mean, budget wise.
Budget wise, yeah.
We can
We
do
would be
the rest
fine.
of the plan.
Sure.
All right.
I'm gonna add this. I didn't say it in the speech. We have some other offers to help with the health insurance. It's tax savings health maintenance program, but it takes about 60 days to implement. It can be done anytime. You're looking at an additional $20,000 in savings to the town and the employees separately through tax savings. That's not in here. I just wanted to make note of it. We do have some more that we can offer, but I don't want to inundate you, and that can be done anytime. So we can talk about that separately.
Explain what you just said.
We would implement a health maintenance program. And it has some tax advantages to it. It would give them some extra added benefits and would help control out-of-pocket costs by using those services before using this. It's not, in the end, it's a net gain because of the tax savings to the town and essentially, not quoting numbers, roughly the town would save about another $20,000, which you're looking at about a $20,000 refund on this plan right now, which I think you've gotten the last 2 years, correct? Or you're probably still waiting on this one, but yeah, it's about a year out. So here in the next, well, should be any time now, you could be getting a refund from last year's claims. So the way this plan is set up, you pay your monthly premium, no more. They never are gonna call you and say, hey, we had high claims, you need to give us more money. That's built into the plan. At the end of the year, if the claims are low, which they have been the last couple of years, that you will receive a refund of those claims funds.
Is there any way to find out how many people have met their deductible? That's like,
Yes.
do you have any
Yeah.
idea?
I can look, but that's already factored in, if that's what you're getting at as far as the renewal rates.
Wondering if we would go from 3,000 to 3,500, how many people are we affecting?
So I'm gonna, yes, I can't answer that, John, but I'm gonna defer, and I'm not against, I'm not trying to make employees unhappy, but that was changed a couple of years ago. You had a $3,000, you guys have been back and forth
Yeah,
a couple times.
Yeah.
You had a $3,000 deductible, but the money you were gonna save on premiums to move to the $3,500 deductible, you still save money by giving the employees an extra $500 to their FSA. So you already covered that in the past. Last year, you kind of gave them another 500, not in money, but just in,
I think we only did
Lower out of
250
pocket.
last year.
I'm sorry.
We only did 250 if they participated in the FSA program, and a lot of them
Right.
do not.
That could be in those guidelines. I'm
Yeah.
just, that was the discussion and why you went from
We did the
the,
higher deductible, we gave them, every employee the 500.
Right.
But we haven't done that since.
right, I was just saying, you went to that higher deductible before, adjusted the FSA because of the savings. And then last year, as far as I know, you didn't take away that FSA contribution if they participated.
We
And you
only
still
gave it
lower
if
the
they
deductible.
participated.
Yeah.
So you're saying again, if we move to the higher deductible, they could still use that $500 gift to the FSA program and still save money for the 20 employees.
The town would, yeah.
and
And
the
Plan 3 and Plan 4 are the HSA options. I understand what people think an HSA is, but it is a completely different structure. You're looking at no more copays, no more, the employees are responsible for everything until they reach their deductible. Can it be some tax savings? Yes, but it's most times not done correctly. Just saying.
What does HSA stand for?
It's a health savings account. So you guys have an FSA, flexible savings account. There's a couple other options too, but HSA for a health savings account, you have to have an HSA compatible plan. And those are the Trustmark page that I gave you. I think CDHP is what they call it. But that's the high deductible plan.
So if we would table this tonight and we don't decide till after the first of the year, is it too late to sign up for a new insurance?
Yeah.
Can we change this insurance at any time throughout the year?
No, I mean,
Okay,
if you want to run through a lot of rings, but
okay.
no, it's a year contract is what it is.
This is what I'm showing.
So we got less than 2 weeks to make this decision.
Well, you never have more than 2 months.
Yeah.
Because we go out and get the quotes from all the carriers.
If we would have a meeting, say December 30th, finally approve this, that's kosher, correct? I mean, it may not be the best for you.
It has nothing to do with me.
The insurance company, but
It has to do with getting the employees all the correct information. I guess my question would be, what other questions do you have for me? What is it that hope to gain or learn.
Gina? Gina? Gina?
Oh, sorry, I was monopolizing her time.
Have you looked over this?
Yeah, briefly, John and I talked about it today.
What do you feel?
I mean, right now I'm looking at Plan 2, and I think if council would choose to do the 500 contribution for each employee at the FSA, we'd still be saving money. The only thing that's different, I've said, is the co-insurance, I guess, correct? 70.
Yeah. The deductible goes up $500, and then the co-insurance, the employee is responsible for 30% instead of 20%, but I'm just being honest with you guys. When you start getting into the co-insurance, it's because something bad happened and you're gonna be paying it no matter what, so
Well, that's what,
how fast you pay it, doesn't matter.
that's what we were trying to figure out. How many is that gonna really affect in our group? You don't know.
It's not, you're not gonna even notice. That's, like I said, getting to that deductible, yeah, you notice it, but once you get past that deductible, it's usually because you had a major surgery or something, a big bill come through. So it doesn't matter whether it's 70-30 or 80-20, you're gonna blow in past that anyway. It's just a matter of paperwork at that point.
Any other questions?
If you're, I understand what you're saying, Gina, and I mean, if you're looking for the savings and the same plan, especially what they've had in the past, Plan 2 is your best option. Plan 3 and 4 are the HSAs. That does save a lot of money on, or not a lot of money, but some money on the premium. But again, you're looking at a completely different structure. It's a lot different. Right now, they have their co-pays for going to the doctor and prescriptions.
So then the HSA format, they have to meet their deductible before anything kicks in.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So at least that use that experience with that before.
It's that you have to be very well educated. to
Town had
understand
it
how to use
years
HSA.
ago, and it was, I think it was through United, but it was, you had to pay your $15,000 deductible 100%. Then the insurance kicked in.
Correct.
And for a lot of the employees that don't meet their deductible, you know, my doctor at that particular time was Dr. Fain, and he listed me as having no insurance because it was cheaper. And it was anybody that doesn't exceed their deductible, it's like not having health insurance at all because they're paying 100% out of pocket. Yeah, so I agree with Gina. I think
As I
Plan
said,
2 is-
the United Healthcare and Anthem, I didn't provide the Anthem quotes. They basically said not worth our time. But United Healthcare, you're just getting more expensive. Trustmark, competitive, but the issue with that is those are HSA plans to even be competitive. And as I stated, with the balanced billing situation with Trustmark, until you reach your deductible, they provide zero help.
Yeah.
Allstate provides help from day one. And to understand, balanced billing is, you get a bill from the hospital or from the provider. Let's say it's $100. I'm gonna use simple numbers, just making them up. Or let's say it's $300. The bill's $300, goes to the insurance, Allstate, they say, no, this is only worth 200 based on the rates. So they pay their 100 and they tell you you're responsible for 100. Again, I'm just making up numbers. Well, the provider is getting 100 from the carrier and 100 from you is what they're expecting, and they still want that extra $100 to make up their $300 bill. They send the employee a bill for that extra $100. That's balanced billing. You get that, you send it to me or to Allstate. You can send it directly, but we send it to them. They have an in-house group. They will take care of that litigation at no extra cost to the employee, and the employee is still only responsible for that $100. That's the insurance point of view, so they will take care of the rest. There are carriers that they offer those services, but you will be charged litigation fees, lawyer fees, and they will drag their feet and you'll not like it, put it that way.
I feel like Plan 2 is a good plan.
I agree. I think Plan 2 is the best option,
Mhm.
and it doesn't really change the
Right.
current coverage. Especially if we're going to
And give you
the $500.
before you get too far, I wanted to show you it's the last 4 pages. First one starts with this Nippon here, which you also received in the email. And then the pages after that are the United Healthcare. So there is one option with United Healthcare on the dental that came back cheaper. The problem is the coverages are different, and these rates that United Healthcare gave are if you package it with their 34,000 plus health insurance. So I wanted you to see it, but once we try to separate that out, prices are going to go up and it's not comparable.
I think the step on, I think the David bit. Yeah.
And then the vision and life insurance are the other 2 pages again. Nippon is coming back better.
Ethan. Were you with this?
Yeah, you guys plan to.
Rick? Yeah,
I make the motion that we go with Plan 2.
and
And
increase it to 500.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, so in our current, I'd have to update the salary ordinance as well to make that amendment.
Okay.
Cause right now, I think we just did the $200.50 seat for participating employees.
Becky's made a motion to go with Plan 2.
I do have a question, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want the $500 seed for just participating employees in the FSA program or for everyone?
You guys want?
What's the difference? So,
Well, they can get the $500 seed without contributing anything to their own, like it's not a match. So currently we have the $250 seed match. That means they have to participate
to get the 250.
to get the 250.
Stick to the same.
That's what I would, yeah, I'd stick to the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll just stick with the 250 in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Mention Nippon too, if that's what you're wanting in your motion.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead. What were
No,
you
you're-
saying?
I just- If that's what you're wanting.
So what again now?
I'm sorry.
What did you just-
Oh, I said, not telling you what to do. She made the motion was for the health insurance. I said, make sure you include the dental, vision, life, and
Oh,
upon it. If
I make a motion to.
you can do
include
it all
the
together, or
dental.
you can do separate. I don't care.
I make the motion for the dental, life, and what else is there? Vision, yes.
I'll second that.
Motion been made, seconded, all in favor, all opposed, like see it. Thank you, Kevin.
All state plan 2 and Nippon, just to clarify. And Gina, I will get you everything in the morning
All right, thank you.
for your signatures. Any other questions before I take off?
I think of it. I'm sure I'll think of something later. Thank you.
Have a good evening. Be
You
safe.
too, you too. Stay warm.
Yeah, right.
Have fun with the kids tomorrow. Have fun. Have fun with the kids tomorrow. I had mine today.
I guess we are on amendment to chapter 151 of the code of order.
Yeah, so this would be second reading of this. We have held first reading last meeting. Again, there's been no changes between what was presented last time and what you have before you tonight. This is a marriage of something that we discussed back in 24 and then some new changes that Tim had highlighted. So it's really a cleaning up of chapter 151.
Okay, when I started this, I didn't know spread what here.
Yes.
So I'll
Give me a
wait.
second, yeah.
Smoke them if you got.
So Andy, if they do approve this, do you have the markups on this and then I can just add the clean sheets, or do you leave the markups on here when
I sent one
Fred, we're
out.
on.
I sent one out that had gotten rid of all the different colors.
Oh, okay, I'll find it.
because there was a couple different things in the.
Okay.
And Andy, I did this without Fred here. Can
Oh,
you
that's fine.
explain that again?
So the chapter 151 ordinance, this is second reading. We held first reading last meeting. That what you have tonight is the same as what you had last meeting. And again, this is just some things that were highlighted to be updated back in 2024, as well as some more recent things that Tim had noted. The main thing that Tim had noted was we wanted to make sure people knew they had to come here first to get their permit before they went through the other process. And then it's just kind of a general cleaning up of chapter 151.
Any discussion on this? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Fred made a motion to approve it, by a second, Becky seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 5-0, unanimous. Brookville Volunteer Fire Department contract. Andy made some additions to what Mark gave us.
Are we skipping over number 2? Variance application. Oh,
We
yeah,
did
Sure,
that.
you did that, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Let's not go back.
Yeah.
Andy made some additions to what Mark gave us. I sent it out to everybody and Mark was okay with it, so this, what's before us. Anybody got any questions on it? Anybody want to make a motion?
One of the biggest things was the 30,000, why not giving it to them up front
That was,
instead of the 2010?
yep, that wasn't what Mark and we were talking about. It's the, Andy, can you explain what you put in? It was,
I got the marked up one if you wanna look at it. This one?
yeah, we gave them the 30,000 last. time.
Yeah, it was,
Right, if we just give
This
them,
is
yeah.
what Andy,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
so that Mark had just removed a couple things that seemed to be unnecessary, and I just put some language back in that, you know, the Schilling Center's dealt with in a separate agreement and that they would abide by that. And then, he had removed that, the reporting to council, because that hasn't happened, and I just had it back in there that upon the request of the president of council, they would make a report just to, to have that out there as an option,
Anybody got any questions?
Mark was good with all of it,
Yeah, definitely.
and I'll make a motion to approve it.
Fred made a motion to approve, Becky seconded, all in favor, and Ethan can't vote, 4-0 with 1 abstention. Yes. Oh, that's right, I just forget. It's so automatic.
Yeah.
Okay, the old ladder truck.
So this was brought up last meeting, the old ladder truck being transferred to Laurel Volunteer Fire Department. Indiana Code 5-22-22-12 does authorize governmental bodies to transfer surplus personal property to fire departments. So if that is what you would desire to do, the first step would be to adopt resolution 2025-10. Which is a resolution. Oh, I left Franklin County Community School Corporation at the top. Thank you.
Does that say Laurel on top of the resolution?
I can't even find the red.
Oh, shoot. I had it in front of that.
That's the agreement for fire.
Oh.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, sorry.
She caught it. She caught my ear.
Yeah.
So resolution 2025-10, which is a resolution transferring personal property to the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated, and that would be a 1999 Hendrickson Fire Rescue Equipment ladder truck with a very long VIN number that Gina was nice enough to track down.
Anybody got any questions on this resolution? Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Brad made a motion to approve resolution 2025-10.
Correct. I'll second it.
Is there a second? Becky seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 4-0 with 1 abstention.
And then along with that, now that the resolution has been approved, there is an agreement to transfer the personal property, just noting that the property is being transferred in as-is condition, amongst other things. And then agreement between the town of Brookville and the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department. This would just require John's signature.
Any questions on that? A motion?
I'll make the motion.
Brad made a motion to approve the agreement, transfer personal property.
I'll second.
Seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 4-0-1. Log down to Gina, please. Easements for Franklin County Sewer Department.
Apologies, I forgot to have asked Gina to put this on your agenda last meeting. So there's 2 documents. The first is a, agreement for the issuance. Oh, no, that was for when they were doing the work at the bottom of the hill. Sorry.
Send that down to Gina, please.
A utility easement, again, between the town and the Brookville Municipal Facilities Building Corporation, which did meet this morning and they approved both these already. And the Franklin County Sewer Department. This is tied to the Reservoir Road project. So the permanent easement is for where the line's going to go along Reservoir, as well as the line that follows along Fairway. That is part of the easement also. And then the temporary grant of access are for the stubs that will come off the line on Fairway to the clubhouse, and then another stub that will come off to the maintenance building, because we have 2 facilities out there, 2 septics. The language was added in that this would be no cost to the town. Went back and forth, very nice to work with Steve Unger, back and forth on getting the language right. A long time coming. Been working on these a long time.
Any questions on this?
Now, our line does not. The houses that back there are not tied into our line, correct? They have their own.
The line that goes back Fairway. Yeah, there's so there, the permanent easement that they will own and maintain will go up Reservoir, and there will be a stub that goes up Fairway to the clubhouse as well as those houses. Our individual line will come off of that, and that is what we're responsible for, is that individual line and the grinder pump. I had to replace my stub at my house.
What type, do you know what type of pump that is? If
I
it's
don't.
industrial, or are they gonna stick a
I don't.
residential
All right.
grinder
I was
system?
we were both at that meeting.
Yeah.
Times, and we saw it.
I know.
don't what it was.
Exactly. Ain't got a clue.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hate to see them put a residential system in where you're gonna have, a bunch of people in a clubhouse.
I don't think we really have a choice on that.
Correct.
I don't know what the options are there. Probably different types of grinder pumps, but I don't know what they're offering. I have no idea. I mean, other than what they've said, I'm assuming that they all be the same.
I just wonder if that would be my concern right there.
Is that something we could request?
I can certain the what type of grinder pump was being put in wasn't ever part of the conversation that I had with anybody. I don't know that the attorneys would know. I assume Brackney, I assume Brackney would know. But I can certainly convey to Mr. Unger council's concerns about the strength of the grinder pump.
Well,
Size of the
Just the
grinder pump.
capacity,
Yeah.
yeah, if you gotta replace it
well,
every 3
yeah,
years.
no,
it's
that makes
gonna get
sense.
expensive.
yeah, I mean, you put a residential pump grinder up there and you've got a commercial usage, exactly, and.
I'm just curious, you know, how we're gonna start that. That kind of like a commercial. End of the year, whatever, versus a residential.
That's, no, that's.
They haven't, yeah, they haven't gone down that far.
No,
Down that
no.
road yet.
No, they've got residential, but they don't have commercial.
Do you have contact with that engineer from Brackney? You could ask him tomorrow.
I don't think they-
Okay,
I don't think they defined that. It was all residential.
so that,
Yeah.
what you're talking
I
about
don't
would
think
not
they addressed it.
No,
hinder
they
these
haven't published.
easements.
No, I would be comfortable moving forward with the easements tonight. They at no cost to the town had a date of December 1st on it, which I changed to December 31st, which was good because I forgot to add it to our agenda last time. So,
See, you're not perfect.
no, give you my wife's phone number. I think it would be fine to put this to bed, and I will certainly convey to the county attorneys as well as Mr. Unger the thoughts about the grinder pump, because I think that's a good point. And I don't think anybody wants to put anything on that that's going to fail in a couple years.
And what Tim said about the rate.
How will the golf course
I
make sure?
don't know if we need to speak to them about.
Do we bring that up?
Yeah, yeah.
You just did.
Hope that they didn't watch this.
So yeah, it would be the utility easement and then get the wording. Grant of temporary access for sewer project are the two documents. And again, the building corporation did meet this morning and they have approved these.
Any questions? Motion,
I'll make the motion to approve.
both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Fred made a motion, Ethan seconded, all in favor, all opposed.
Andy, what do I do with those? Take them somewhere or?
They'll need recorded at some point. I'll email, when I email Steve, I'll just go ahead and email him now and I'll let him know that we've approved them and ask about the grinder pump, and then I'll also ask what he wants us to do with the originals.
Okay.
SIRPC contract for grant administration services.
So Jody Comer from SIRPC couldn't be here this evening, but she did, since we approved their proposal for grant administrator, she sent a contract for services. The amount of the contract is what they have put in the, I'm sorry, the grant application, which was $28,000 for general administration services, $5,000 for environmental review services, for a not to exceed fee total of $33,000.
That's what I opened the last time. Is that it?
Correct, that was their proposal, yes.
All right. I had so much trouble. Does anybody have questions on this or a motion?
I motion that we pass it.
Becky made a motion, to pass it. Fred seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 5-0. letter to IOCRA regarding grant administration procurement.
So Jody had sent a letter for council's approval. It just is a letter to Oprah regarding the owner occupied rehabilitation grant. Dear Representative, the town of Brookville has just completed the grant administration procurement process to solicit firms to administer our OOR grant from the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs. Only one proposal was received, and it was from the Southeastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission in Versailles, Indiana. The town of Brookville has directly, I think she missed a word, sorry. The town of Brookville has directly worked with SIRPC over the past years on many Oprah projects. We have evaluated the proposal and feel confident in their level of expertise on this project. We'd like to proceed to execute a contract with them to continue the grant process. So I think I read this back. I would put them backwards. But, so that's just a letter that she has to send to Oprah regarding our grant administration procurement.
Any questions? Or motions? Ethan made a motion to sign it.
I'll second it.
Fred seconded, all in favor, all opposed, unanimous.
I might fix that letter.
I put it,
Put it in there. Okay, thank you.
I didn't add it.
Thank you.
OOR grant home radon inspector RFP acceptance.
So SIRPC had did a RFP to some potential inspectors for the OOR program. From that procurement, we had one response, and that was from Full Coverage Home Inspections LLC.
And this is out of Batesville, and their proposed scope of services and pricing is initial home inspection, $500 per unit, interim inspection, $150 per unit, final inspection, $150 per unit. Accompaniment of state inspector included. Initial radon inspection with report and lab results, $150 per unit. Final radar inspection, post mitigation, $150 per unit. And signed Isaac DeBerger. He's the engineer.
So Jody from SIRPC said we can accept the quotation if you so choose, and then she'll work on a contract for the next meeting.
How much is that per household total?
Please.
How much is that per household total?
I don't know if they have the final amounts yet
Oh, okay.
from the applications.
No.
We'll have to get an update from her and
Okay.
they're able to,
Okay.
yeah.
I had a person ask me if they were still taking applications, so I told them they were.
Yeah, I've been sending whoever comes and asks about it.
So.
They've only had one.
Yep. Anyone want to make a motion to accept this?
I make a motion to accept it.
Becky made a motion to accept it. Ethan seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. Annual nepotism certifications.
Oh, it's, sorry.
So in front of everyone, I have your annual nepotism certifications. It's just stating that each council member was in compliance with the ordinances in place for hiring and also contract services. So if you guys sign those and then pass them down to me.
Both of them.
Yes, please.
Decent beer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Resolution of transfer.
So at the end of every year, there's usually appropriations that are in the negative within a fund and others are positive. So I do auto transfers in between those funds. It's not transferred from fund to fund, but it's within one fund. So within the general fund, we'll do auto transfers. Within MVH, we'll do auto transfers. So this is just a resolution. Council would grant me the authority to do that at the end of the year. And this would be resolution 2025-11.
Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to make a motion? Eve make a motion to approve this resolution 2025-11.
A second.
Rick seconded, all in favor, all opposed, unanimous. This is a resolution to encumber, and the two funds she is talking about is the golf course pump station project, $34,168.57, and the playground ramps and timbers, $1,804. You want to explain that?
So at the end of the year, if there's monies, we had appropriated money for this year for the irrigation project. However, I think our shift kind of changed when we went with the lake pump replacement. So the irrigation pump project did not take place. So I'd like to encumber I have 3 of the quotes. There were still 2 I didn't obtain. One was for the electrician that will have to set up the electric, and then the other one I think was for the welder that will have to do some of the pipe fitter, sorry. I don't have those 2 quotes, so there might be more involved, but this is all I could encumber based upon the estimates of purchase orders I have currently.
Okay.
And then the playground ramps and timbers, we had talked about using extra funds next year from the leftover from the mulch. Well, there's not going to be that much leftover, so since we already have that purchase order, I'd like to go ahead and encumber that from edit for next year.
Yeah. Any questions? Motion?
Make the motion to allow Gina to do that.
This is resolution number
2025-12.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I make the motion to pass 2025-12.
Becky made a motion to approve this.
I'll second it.
Fred seconded, all in favor, all opposed, unanimous. Next is Franklin County zoning code amendment to section 80.10.02.
It looks like this is, apparently maybe the county's having problems with people filing things without getting all the permits.
That's what Gina and I decided today.
Just with an exception for administrative replats, it does require that no subdivision shall be filed with the auditor and recorded by the recorder unless it's received final approval by the Franklin County Area Plan Commission. And again, there is an exception for an administrative replat, which is a replat that can be approved by the executive director. This is an ordinance. And if you would like to move forward with it tonight, you would need to suspend the rules prior to adoption.
Do I have a motion to suspend the rules?
I make that motion.
Rick made a motion to suspend, Ethan seconded, all in favor, All Opposed? Okay. Say one will make, what ordinance number would this
This
be?
would be 2025-23.
Anybody want to make a motion to pass ordinance number 2025-23, which Andy read?
I'll make that motion.
Fred made the motion. Awesome. Ethan seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. We only have writers correct at the other night.
Got Bridget Hayes' name.
What?
This has Bridget Hayes' name on
Oh, sorry.
I didn't.
Bring it white out. You sign it, I'll white it out.
Bring it back, you will have to sign too.
Got it from them all.
We had a couple
That's
of
okay.
breakdown stuff.
I guess I could sign it in her name.
Vacation wasn't long enough, was it?
There you go.
Okay, Schilling Center memorandum of understanding and Gina.
So every year we do that memorandum of understanding for the Schilling Center with the Brookville Volunteer Fire Department. I believe, I thought there was some amendments to the rental rates. So I wanted to double check that with Mark before, and with me being out of town last week, I didn't.
So we
I didn't
need
get
to table this. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Brett
table it.
made a motion to table.
I'll second.
Becky seconded, all in favor, and Ethan can't vote, 4-0-1. Officer Schmidt, resignation. For your files, this is to inform you that Lucas Schmidt has resigned his position as an officer with the Brookville Police Department effective December 9th, 2025. He has accepted a job in his hometown of Greensburg, Indiana with the Greensburg Police Department. And
Need a
we've done
motion?
health renewal, so anything,
Did somebody do
We
a
need-
motion to accept?
oh,
I make that motion, we accept.
All right,
second.
thank you.
okay, Rick and Ethan. Oh,
Fred,
in favor? Unanimous.
okay, thank you.
All right, anybody else get anything? Motion to adjourn.
I make that motion to adjourn.
Becky made a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Ethan seconded, all in favor, all opposed. Now. Andy, did you run the special meeting?
I do.
Okay,
Oh,
Gina.
So I'll go ahead and open or call to order the
Live tip.
special meeting for the 2026 organizational meeting. This year we were able to hold the meeting at the end of the year instead of waiting to January 1st because there are no council member position changes. So first meeting order of business would be the election of officers. So I will ask council for a nomination for president for 2026.
I make the motion. We appoint John.
I second that.
So Rick made a motion, Becky seconded that. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. All right, John, you can go ahead and ask for vice president.
All right, nominations for council vice president.
I'll make the motion. Well, he just
Becky
keeps
made
it.
the motion for Rick.
I'll second.
Fred seconded, all in favor, opposed. Utility supervisor,
I make the motion, we just stay like what it is.
all right,
Second that.
can we do that for all
Sure.
department heads?
I make the
Okay.
motion that all the department heads stay the same.
Yeah, Becky made a motion for all department heads to stay the same, Fred
Oh.
seconded, all in favor, all opposed, 5-0. Okay.
It was short and sweet.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know.
You want me to just let you fill all these in, Gina?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Local Alcoholic Beverage Board.
In the past, Brian Harpering was always our representative.
Okay,
If he would like to be appointed, and I can ask him if he'd like to continue.
okay, I mentioned Brian would. Do I need a motion on that?
I make the motion to keep Brian.
Okay.
Second, that's.
All in favor? Franklin County Economic Development Committee. Becky currently, you want to stay on it?
Sure.
Okay,
I make motion for Becky.
make motion for Becky, second, Ethan, second, all in favor, all opposed, Health Department appointee, it's Tim, isn't it?
Correct, and he's got another year, so
Okay.
I just.
Oh, you got
skipped over
NA.
him. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to just make sure it wasn't forgotten.
Southeastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, that's me, if anybody else wants it, have it.
I nominate John.
And I,
Term's not up yet, yeah, I just wanna make sure they don't fall off.
Okay, Historic Preservation Commission and the Redevelopment Commission, we can wait on because they won't meet until after.
Yeah.
And we need to find out, there's movement on the Historic Commission and,
There is two people that would like to get on the HPC. I do know that.
okay. So why don't we wait until the January meeting and we go over that? And same, I haven't talked to all the redevelopment members to see if they want to stay on or not, and if there's anybody that wants to go on or anything like that, so.
Yeah, there's two of them going off at the end of the year. And then two of them express interest on getting on.
Okay, all right,
We do that in a motion just to appoint in January.
Or motion to table those appointments.
Yeah.
Ethan made a motion to
I'll
table,
second it.
and Fred seconded, all in favor, all opposed, that was unanimous.
I'm sorry, we didn't hear you.
Motion to table those appointments.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
motion.
I voted for it. And bond approvals, we have to make motions on these?
Yes, so just motion to approve and accept, there's one for myself,
Gina Gilman,
Gina Gilman as clerk treasurer,
Amy Hill,
Amy Hill as utility clerk, and Patricia Mearcy as office manager.
Patricia Nearcy.
Yeah.
All right, do I have a motion to approve these public official bonds? Ethan made a motion,
I'll second it.
Becky seconded, all in favor, all opposed?
Did we keep Andy?
I just thought I was included in department.
Well, we
I
found
appreciate
out
that,
tonight it wasn't perfect, so if we want to talk about wages now.
Yeah.
I just lumped myself in with department.
Still want to be on board, Andy?
Yeah.
All of those bonds at the bottom, just council members sign. I know there's not a space, but there's open space at the bottom. So just put the date and then you guys can all sign down here.
Okay.
On the front page of each one.
Okay,
Well, I asked Andy a question. I'm not sure I really understand what this person is asking. Cause this is from 2026. Not really. I don't know who that means,
well, while we're doing this, anybody make a motion for our attorney for this year?
I make the motion that we keep Andy. That's
Okay,
how
Becky
we know
made a
he's not
motion,
perfect.
keep Andy. Ethan seconded, all in favor? All opposed?
I just note that Gina said this at the beginning of the meeting, but this is just, she received a comment, so this is the reorganization meeting, and this is all as to what will take place beginning on January 1, 2026.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think she received a comment from somebody about voting for seats that aren't yet vacant. So this is all for 2026 moving
Yeah.
forward, just so that you guys don't have to, or we don't have to come in January 1, 2026.
We just signed this anywhere?
At the bottom underneath one.
Sorry if I didn't state that clear yet.
Everybody signed it.
Yeah.
Hey, we know where you've been.
You're still in vacation mode. You still in vacation mode, Gina?
What'd you think when your plane landed? And you seen what was out the window?
No, yeah. It wasn't that bad until the next day.
I don't think I've,
cold.
I don't think I've ever been on vacation, not know where I was going.
Yeah. The beauty of traveling with responsible people. I
There
trust
you
them
go.
with my life.
How'd you know how to pack?
Oh, I knew where I was, like, going warm.
Oh,
I knew
okay.
I was going somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
Any other business? Walk out. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Becky made a motion to adjourn. Hey, seconded, all in favor, unanimous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before 9, a lot higher than the phone since it's